thing to go to, so I wasn't going to be able to make it. So shout out to God for helping Purdue win while I
Shout out to our guy JC.
while I went to church. But so I didn't get to watch the game, so I'm not as emotionally like invested as you guys are right now. So tell me what your guys' thoughts are. How you feeling?
Ooh, Frank, is that some wine you got going there, brother?
This is the very end of
so in the pregame show, I had to ask what filet mignon was because I didn't know because I'm a hick apparently.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's just the very.
I had no idea what it was. I thought it was fish.
Very high quality steak, but
we don't have that down here.
How I felt about the game. Fascinating. Bruce Pearl is on TV right now as a commentator. Like he's just like jumped right. He's like, all right, my season's over. I'm just going to do commentary now. That's fascinating.
Gotta get that bag.
I just felt like early on Purdue was down. I think 5 or 6 Russ. I think it was in the first half, but I was never really concerned. The main thing that I'm going to take away from this is I'm worried. It just seemed like something was off with Zach. It felt like he wasn't as aggressive as we normally see, and really, especially in the first half, it looked like we were looking to run our offense in other ways other than through him. We were giving him the ball. He was kicking it out to shooters. He was kicking it out to guys. Lance was attacking off the dribble. He wasn't looking to score a ton. And then we saw in the second half as Graham Mike fouled out, he got his own. But early in the game, I even had people texting me and saying, is something wrong with Edey? Is he hurt? Is he sick? He just doesn't look right. And that I was concerned, but we were still leading, during that time period. But it was good to see us win. Obviously, you can look at the box score. Like I said, I don't have numbers in front of me. We're doing this impromptu. I don't have the numbers. I don't know what the final points were. I can look them up, but Edey did get his. But for the majority of the game, people were scoring, and it wasn't Zach Edey. Flesh was hitting, Braden was hitting, Lance was hitting, Mason was hitting in the first half. He had those back-to-back threes. It was awesome to see us really get out to a lead, take control of this game without Zach doing his scoring thing. He was rebounding the ball well for sure.
So without
he had 27 and 14.
That's what. I was going to ask. Yeah, I was like, how many points do you think he had?
I didn't. I have like 11
20,
at halftime.
Yeah, 27. 11 at halftime. Yeah. I had him at 22 or 24 in my head. So 27.
Man, yeah. Everyone's letting me know in the comments the 5. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, normally I've got these numbers ready to go. Don't have them in front.
5-0 Ghost. Never heard of
it. Yeah, 5-0
Ghost. Yeah, I don't know.
But one thing I want to highlight a comment here from Midwest Toker. No worries this game. I mean, that's how I felt, Russ. I don't know how you felt, but I never felt concerned, even when we were down. I mean, honestly, when I think about Purdue's biggest deficit, it was Graham Ike hitting 2 threes. So he had hit 7 threes this season, 4 of which were against Purdue, 2 in the first meeting, 2 tonight, which is crazy. So I don't disagree with leaving him open, but I just I wasn't concerned. He wasn't going to keep hitting threes. Smith was close to a triple-double. Yeah, really, really good point there, Cody. But, yeah, he was super close. So, I think what did he have, 15 assists is what Braden ended the game with, Russ? Since you appear to have the box score.
Yes, 15 assists. He was 2 rebounds short of a triple-double.
Absolutely crazy.
I feel like he always gets really close to triple-doubles, or at least he's gotten to that point a few times this year. And it's like he either gets taken out before that time or he just doesn't quite get there.
Yeah, but what do you guys think? Damon, I know you didn't get to watch it. I'm glad you were able to have your religious contribution there to help us win the game.
Shout out JC for the dub.
Shout out to JC.
Dylan, what were your thoughts? How'd you feel?
The first half I was pretty nervous. I don't know why, but I was. But
because you're a Purdue fan.
Yeah, we're a beaten up bunch. But no, I felt we ended the first half strong, which felt good. And then I knew Paint would make whatever adjustments were needed, and they did. And Edey, it's even better now. Like even when Edey has a quote unquote off night for him, which is still a good game, that the supporting cast really comes together and shoots. They couldn't miss nothing, man. And Gonzaga missed everything. I hadn't seen a team shoot that cold in a while. Those 3 straight bricks there. Not to
when they had the multiple offensive rebounds. Is that what you're talking about?
They could.
Well, I even said to Russ on the third one, I'm like, this one has to go in. This is their third opportunity, and then that one didn't even go in. But
hey,
the final number 6 for 19 from 3 for Gonzaga. It's the second time. I didn't think that would happen.
JR from the Big Ten Huddles in the comments, and JR, I have beef with you, sir. I love you, but
Yeah.
your Twitter tonight, please, sir. I love you. I love you.
Hey, he's the only one on the show that had picked us a double-digit win. So,
JR, I want to say that Zach Edey was not complaining about the foul. He was complaining that he was hooking hell.
Yeah, JR.
I mean, he wasn't, but yeah.
JR, I'll send your ass the link right now. I'll send you the link.
All right. I mean, guys, he's an Ohio State fan, so he doesn't really have anything else to do right now.
Oh.
As far as first half nervousness, I told Frank in the first half when we hit the first couple threes that I felt pretty good about our chances. Like I wasn't too nervous because that's to me that's been the struggle with us in the postseason is what's the shooting situation going to be between what basketballs we're using, what the arena's like, where we're playing at, are we comfortable playing there, are we going to hit our shots? And when I saw those going down, even though I was nervous because we missed a couple there in the middle of the first half, but I was pretty relaxed for a Sweet 16 game.
JR is going to make me say bad words.
You know what's funny though is, at least for me, I feel this way. It feels like now Purdue's NCAA tournament is starting. It feels like we had to get to this point for it to be like, okay, now the real tournament is here now, because this is like where everybody expected Purdue to get to, and now it's like where, as John Rothstein loves to say, we are fighting for immortality. We're one win away for immortality.
What's up, bro?
Death taxes, Matt Painter. Is that your brother?
JR, yeah.
I'm sorry,
JR,
Dan.
I want to get JR's take on if you're still around. I want to get your take on the Domask foul last night. The foul that was called against Domask, where they called a cylinder foul and he got him with the elbow. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that one. I was looking for a tweet. You may have tweeted something about that. If you did, I didn't see it. But Russ, why don't you tell your Kroger story from earlier today?
Oh my goodness! So for those of you who don't know, I work for the best ice cream company in the world, Bluebell Ice Cream, and
not a sponsor.
I was # not a sponsor. Was in a store just pulling up shelves, checking what was on there and kind of following up on a driver. And I saw older lady with a Purdue sweatshirt on, and it was probably her grandson with like a Purdue
probably
t-shirt.
Your age.
Mind you, this is in a geographic area where seeing Purdue people is not an extremely common thing. Just
Louisville.
Typically, when we see one, you have to say something.
So I saw that immediately, and I was like, "Hey, big game today! Like, y'all nervous?" And she goes, "Yeah, I just hope Matt Painter doesn't choke again." I was like, "Are you serious?" And I had to pause and think, okay, I'm not wearing Purdue gear. I'm wearing my company attire. That this is the kind of lady that would call in on me and complain about saying unnice things to her in front of her grandson. But like, really, like it was Painter's fault we couldn't hit a three last season against FDU, even though like 24 of our 26 3-point attempts were wide open attempts, and we still shot 19%. Like, yeah, that was Painter's
probably in bed.
Okay.
Probably asleep.
And I want to circle back to one of Cody's comments here. I feel like we shut up the haters, is what the comment said.
The haters are our motivators.
What do you guys think? Have we silenced the doubters? Have we silenced the haters? Have we gotten to a point where if we lose the next game, let's say against Tennessee or against Creighton, the haters will say, "Okay, well that's far enough. Purdue has changed my mind. They don't choke." Let's say. I want to say that's the case. I'm not sure I believe it, to be honest. I'm
dumb people never learn to shut up. So no, they'll
and then they start a podcast.
Hey, and that's coming from one of the dumbest. Okay, well, not you. I'm talking to me, not Damon.
I don't know if I said it in here on a pod, or just in our group chat, but I've said before that even if we win the national title, you'll have people out there going, "Yeah, but it's just one."
Oh, I'm going to be the most toxic person ever if we win the national championship. Oh my God. I'm going to be the biggest douchebag ever if Purdue wins the national championship. Oh God.
Damon's got a bunch of things on Twitter bookmarked that he's like ready to go back. And,
They're going to say banners. I'm going to be like, banner, and mine's not dusty.
Yeah. Mine isn't filled with asbestos.
Mine's going to be like, national titles in my lifetime. Purdue 1, IU 0. # Russ is old. How bad is that?
Ooh, that's good.
JR, I'm assuming that was supposed to be Domask. It says do ask, but yeah, there was a foul that was called on Iowa State. They were trapping Domask. He had the ball. He came through, got him with the elbow. I mean, it was clear as day. He got him with the elbow. They called a foul on Iowa State, though. they said he was in his space and they called it a cylinder foul. And I said, at that particular point, at least from my perspective, it seems like the Illinois fan base has been the most critical or had the loudest voice about every single foul called on Purdue. I said at that point in time, they kind of lost the ability to do that because that was the biggest bailout I think I've ever seen. Illinois definitely deserved to win that game. I'm not taking credit away from them, but that was I just thought that was a crazy call. I
hope Purdue gets bailed out in the next game. That'd be awesome. I'll take whatever I can get, guys.
Keep bailing us out, please.
That's right.
Oh, we got beef in the chat. Beef in the chat.
So, what is Cody's comment about? Can someone please tell Coach not to say the double F word that we don't say on here?
Oh, so I started saying the last quattro.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Ooh,
okay.
That's clever, Dylan. The last.
Thank you.
You said that you said that in our the pregame show, and I was just like,
I don't understand what's
right
an Audi have to do with this.
What?
An Audi Quattro, is that what
yeah. That's exactly it.
Russ, go to bed. Go to bed.
He's even got that dad laugh that's got a little bit of a wheeze in it.
So your brother's name is Dan. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Dan. I'm sorry. Is he older? Is he older or younger?
We're twins, but he's about an hour and a half younger.
Oh, it makes sense.
Dang, your poor mom. Good night.
It looked
Well,
like
we
he
have
had
different birthdays too, so that's even more unique.
How the hell? Oh, so you were born at 11. He was born at like midnight.
Yeah, like 11:39. He was more like 1 a.m.
That's such a Russ thing. That's so Russ.
I knew you were a twin. I did not know that. I did not know that you and your twin brother had two different birthdays.
People say my brother and I are twins, but we're not. So that's good news that's a compliment to him. Looking like this. Anyway,
so looking at the box score here, just for a second. I think it's crazy that 4 of our starting 5 were in double digits. Braden had 14, 8 rebounds, 15 assists. Absolutely crazy. And Fletcher with 10. Fletcher with a huge 10 too. That one layup he had in transition, or that like kind of it. I don't want to call it a floater. I don't want to call it a layup. It was somewhere in between, in transition.
Roll, kind of
Russ and I both went like, "No, what are you doing?" When that happened, that was crazy. I think Lance was huge tonight, Russ.
Yeah.
I feel like Lance made some huge plays. He attacked the basket. He hit some big time threes. I'm trying to pinpoint like a player of the game, and it's really hard. It's really unfair to Zach. He can put up 27 points, and you don't like immediately call him.
It feels very normal.
Yeah. It's just what you expect from him. But we got Captain Boiler in the comments. One of a very, very classic paint crew member. What's up,
Captain?
Appreciate you being here. But yeah, I want to say Cam Heidi, Russ. Am I wrong? Like Cam Heidi was.
I mean, I'd have to. I know it's chalk, but I'd have to pick Braden just because 15 assists in a game of this caliber and still put in 14 points as well and pull down 8 boards. Like
that's pretty good.
And he had a couple of steals too, or at least one steal that's pretty timely there. Well, they had the one he had 2. He would have had 2, but he was on fit of the line 1.
Captain Boiler says player of the game to me is Braden. Absolutely commanded the floor the entire game. Yeah. I mean, that's you can make a case for every player. And when I think about player of the game, I think about who excelled past their expectation, really. And that's maybe an unfair
Purdue comparison. Only shot 10 free throws tonight.
Yeah,
wow.
Purdue only shot 10. Yeah, and it was interesting that we didn't look to play through Edey a ton tonight.
And we were really close to them in rebounding
go back too. And watch the footage, you'll see that. And that we were almost using Edey almost as a decoy. So we have another comment here saying Lance is the player of the game. But I don't know, I just felt like Heidi was really good defensively, caused a lot of problems, had a really, really timely steal, hit that wide open 3, had that really awesome slash to the basket when guys were giving a lot of attention to Edey. I don't know. You could really make a case for any player. And that's the great thing about this game. Is that, and then also, we talked about it on the show. We've had some comments before about people being concerned about Purdue's inability to put games away or step on the opponent's throat. And I felt like we did that tonight. I felt like we got a lead and then we extended the lead and then we really didn't look back. And that was really a really cool thing for me to see. So we got Braden MVP. Got a comment here from the OHIO guys asking for thumbs up. We appreciate that. That does help us out a lot.
We never asked for that. Maybe we ought to start doing that.
Yeah, that's something we need to do a little bit more.
CJ Poppin in the house.
Yo,
CJ. Poppin's Pub. Ooh, I'm So his CJ, what Chris? What is your what's your
I think it's
club
CJ
hockey
Poppin.
team's name? Son of
Oh, oh,
it's a
the
their logo's a penguin, like a drunk penguin. It's glorious, and I got a jersey from them, and I'm really excited about it. Anyway, shout out to you, CJ Poppin. Love you.
So crazy. Good point, Cody. Good point. Turnovers are very low tonight. I don't know what the final
yeah,
number
only
was.
had 8. We had 8, and then Gonzaga had 6.
Normally, I've got these numbers ready to go, but we're doing this impromptu. But
And no blocks by either team tonight.
is it crazy of me to think, or is this too much of a homer take, that Purdue and UConn have looked like the two most dominant teams in the tournament?
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's unfair to say UConn has looked like probably the most dominant team in the tournament, but I think we're a close second.
And we beat every single team by double digits. So I would.
Clemson has been pretty controlling in the games that it's played. You know, I wouldn't say dominant, but they've been pretty much in control.
The plastered
Yeah.
penguins, Dylan. That's what they're
Yeah,
called.
that's it. The plastered penguins. Oh God, it's their logo's glorious. I can't wait to get that jersey.
Plastered penguin.
I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you guys. I don't know.
Who's Chris Jewell?
Yeah. Boilers by 15. See you at Harry's. Someone's going to Harry's, it sounds like. Yeah.
Nick's gonna get a charge real quick.
So the next game hasn't started. We don't know any scores. We don't know who Purdue's going to play. Who would we rather play? Let's talk about that. We rather play Creighton or we rather play Tennessee? Because right now we don't know who we're playing. There's been a lot of pushback from Tennessee fans, is what I'll say. They think Dalton Connect's the best player in the country. Purdue fans are obviously a little biased. They think Zach Edey's the best player in the country. The media doesn't seem to agree who the best player is. I think it'll probably be a little bit closer in the player of the year race than what people think. And I think this game, if Purdue does play Tennessee, will kind of help decide that. But given all that, would you all rather play Creighton, who is lights out from three, and who have 5 or 6 guys who can really tear you up from three? Would you rather play Tennessee, who's really going to grind you down defensively? They're going to make things difficult. Two completely contrasting styles of basketball. But who would you all rather play in this next game if you had a choice?
I just want to beat Tennessee again. I do.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I said that before. That's what I'll say again. I don't. It doesn't matter to me who we play, but as far as redemption tour, and trying to quote unquote silence the hater, even though the haters will always be there, I'd rather beat Tennessee again than beat a Creighton team.
Yeah, I got a comment here. I'm more worried about the matchup with Creighton. That's who I'd rather play. I completely understand that. I do, and that Creighton is going to be a higher variance game.
Yeah,
I think
it's less in our control.
It can be a heavy swing in either direction. Like if they shoot, they can shoot 50% from three. If you think about back to the Purdue Nebraska game, I think I said at halftime, like they're not going to continue to shoot 70% from three, and I was right, but they shot 60% from three. Creighton's very much a team that can do that. They're also a team who, when they're off, Purdue could win by 20 points. But I think Tennessee is going to be a grinder, from beginning to end, and one that Purdue will have to eke out a win. But Creighton could kind of swing double digits in either direction. And so for that reason, I think I agree in that I would rather play Creighton, because I feel like we have the size advantage and the skill advantage inside. I mean, they do have Ryan Kalkbrenner, but I haven't seen anyone who can defend Edey one-on-one, so they'll have to send some help, I believe. But
man, I forgot about Kalkbrenner. I think he was in Purdue. He had Purdue like in his top 3 or top 4 when he was picking schools.
I think I didn't we get Edey over Kalkbrenner? It wasn't that how that all played out. I know we thought we had Hunter Dickinson, and then it was Ryan Kalkbrenner, and then it was kind of Zach Edey was third, but I think that's how it played out. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know
third to get.
I know he was a big Purdue target, someone Purdue sought pretty heavily on the recruiting trail.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, I think no matter what team we say, everyone's going to be like not afraid to play them, but everyone's going to be nervous about the game. I mean, it's the Elite Eight. Every team that we play is going to match up well against Purdue. Every team that we play is going to be a tough opponent. So, I mean, there's no team that I personally would rather play one over the other. But because it's going to be a grinder no matter who we play, honestly. It's going to be a tough game. I'm just looking forward to redemption. That's all I'm looking forward to. So
Creighton and Tennessee are about to tip off. I don't know, man. Either or, I'm weary. I think anyone who makes it this far in the tournament is pretty damn good. You don't make it this far without being a good team, and you know, I don't know, either or. Really, it's a flip of the coin for me. I think beating Tennessee would be fun, but hell, I'd play anybody. As long as we get to the what I call it, the Quattro.
The last Quattro.
The last Quattro. That's all that matters. But no, it doesn't really matter who we play. I'm weary either way because I'm a Purdue fan, and that's how we're built.
Well, we need to not forget to just take a moment and enjoy the fact that we're in the Elite Eight.
Amen.
I feel like that's where kind of a lot of Purdue fans expect to be. This is the fringe of expectation, right? This is the minimum. And as people have said, I've seen it on Twitter, like the tournament starts now in the eyes, and which is crazy
because it's only the second Elite Eight that Painter's even made.
Yeah.
So,
but when you have, and we talked about this back when we were affiliated with Big Banner, Russ, and we did the huge collaboration with lots of podcasts, and that the question was asked, why do Purdue fans have these tournament expectations when they, the furthest they've been in the last 20 years is an Elite Eight? And it's, when you have such amazing regular seasons like we've had over the last 4, 5, 6 seasons, you just assume that's going to transition over to the tournament. And that's the reason why I think we have these expectations. When you have, when you've been number 1 3 years in a row,
32 wins, program record, 32 wins.
When you continue to set new records every season for sellouts and home wins and total wins in a season, and you have guys break the scoring record and rebounding record and an assist record, you expect that that's going to carry over to the postseason. And so I don't think these expectations are unrealistic. I just think that's the reason they exist. So I'm not one in that camp of thinking the tournament starts now, but just enjoy it. Just enjoy the fact that we're in the Elite Eight, the fact that we've come this far, the fact that this team's 1 year older. So whatever happens going forward, these guys are going to have this much experience. Colvin has 3 games of NCAA tournament experience now. Heidi has 3 games of NCAA tournament experience now. Braden and Fletcher have 4 games of NCAA tournament experience now, which is crazy to say. But man, comments are going crazy. What is JR saying? Edie is so good at drawing fouls. I think you'd rather face Creighton. Edie is going to get caught in foul trouble, and that would screw up what they want to do. Yeah, I can also just see them catching fire from 3 as well. Their offense isn't necessarily centered around Kalkbrenner, but it's a nice compliment to what they do inside and out. So that's I don't know. It's you can convince me either way.
Shout out whoever updates the Purdue basketball stat leader Wikipedia page, because it's already updated Braden Smith, who entered the game with 409 career assists outside the top 10. He's now tied for 8th in career assists at Purdue with 424, and he's not even finished with his sophomore season. Ooh. And he's tied for 8th in school history.
That's insane.
He is the next name he'll pass is another favorite, Lou Jack.
Wow.
Captain Boiler also made a good comment a little bit ago that said Braden is just 19 assists away behind Cassius Winston for the single season assist record in Big Ten history. So that's something that he could. I mean, if he plays,
he's blown away the Purdue record. The Purdue record was 207. He's at 271 now. So
that's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, Braden is a special player. And, the fact that he wasn't highly recruited just blows my mind. And Painter even said that. He said that before last season. He said, here in just a couple of weeks, you're going to see how crazy it was that Braden Smith didn't have more stars. It wasn't rated higher by whatever ranking system ranks these recruits. And he's absolutely right. I mean, his ability to see the floor. I mean, Russ, that play he made where he drove into the paint looked like he was going to jump out of bounds, like acted like he was going to shoot a shot, somehow got the ball. It was to TKR, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it just I don't even know. I couldn't see it unfold with the zoomed out view. I have no idea how he saw it. Just no idea. It's absolutely crazy. And
Russ, is your entire family here? What do we?
I guess so.
Enjoy arguably our best team ever. Yeah,
I'd like to take a moment and welcome the entire Johnson family. We appreciate you coming in.
enjoy
I feel
arguably the
sorry.
best team ever. That's a
feel
really
sorry
good
for
question. So in our lifetime, we vary in age here, but is this the best team we've seen?
100%.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
think so,
like I
too.
said before, I said it a few weeks ago that, Edie is without a doubt the best player to ever wear a Purdue uniform, at least the most dominant. I would say that makes him the best. And Braden Smith might go down as the best point guard in Purdue history. So to have the best big and the best point guard on the same team, plus the way that these auxiliary pieces are playing, yeah, 100%.
I
was
said
gonna say,
that. Go ahead, David.
I saw Chris's comment. It says we have to get to a Final Four at least.
I'll say
I
it.
was gonna say, do you think the olds would say that Zach Edey is better than the big dog because the big dog has made it to a Final Four, I believe.
So to some people, no, they didn't. That's what because our last
Oh, they didn't.
our last
Okay.
Final Four was 1980, and Big Dog played in the early 90s.
Gotcha.
I thought the same thing too, Damon. Russ and I already had this conversation once.
Don't doubt the old historian here. But
Dan looks so youthful, and you look.
That's because he sucked up all the youth and kicked me out. And
Shout out to Dan.
But no, I mean, there's some people. Glenn Robinson's going to be to them what Michael Jordan is to a lot of us. Like, there's no matter who comes along, Michael Jordan's going to be the GOAT. Some people, Glenn Robinson's always going to be the GOAT. But I don't know how you say Zach Edey isn't the best player to ever play a Purdue uniform. I don't know.
The Noodle.
I like this comment from the Noodle. Yeah, been watching Purdue for 40 plus years, and this is hands down the best Purdue team I've ever seen.
So just putting this out there, food for thought. Think about the team. Carson Edwards sophomore year. All right, so that was Isaac Haas, Vince Edwards, Dakota, PJ, right, and then Carson. That was a really good team. That was the team where Isaac Haas got hurt in the tournament. I'm not saying they're better. I'm just saying that could be the complete team, in my opinion, that could rival, because that Purdue team was number one in 3-point shooting.
Not the baby boilers with Lou Jack.
I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting out overall teams that could rival this overall team. And that was a team that was really hard to guard because Haas was a fairly dominant post presence. I mean, fairly is putting it lightly too. And then you couple that with the best shooting team in the country around him. That was when Carson was, 40+% 3-point shooter. Dakota was a 45. Vince was 40+. This is the team that won 17 in a row. So I'm just putting it out there as a team that we should at least think about in terms of
Isaac Haas only averaged 11 points per game in college. It's crazy.
He had a lot more pieces around him. Do you remember when the Haas
Whoa, you're saying that this Purdue team doesn't have a lot of pieces around it? Whoa.
I'm just saying he had a lot more.
Frank's getting canceled. Oh man.
I guess. Yeah.
Just kidding.
I think I was telling Frank this. I think that the fact that we're talking about that team is the second best, and maybe Baby Boilers is the third best for Painter. Like, is he just going to continue to get better even after this year? Because we've got, Heidi is, he's reaching a pretty big freshman peak right now. Like, and you've got Braden and Fletch for 2 more years. You've got TKR coming back next year as a dominant post player. Plus, you got the Big Six coming in. Like, and they're already talking about big names for the 2025 class make a decision. So I think we're just on this path that, regardless of what happens this year, this isn't the end. It's not like this is, yes, this is Painter's best shot to date, but he might even have better teams in the future. Wrap your mind around that. Like,
but to touch on one thing you said there, Russ, you said this is Painter's best shot. But how many times? Just think about the last 10 years. Have we heard that? Have we heard someone say, or even within the Purdue fan base, that if there was ever a year, it's this year.
But some of those were derailed by the I word that we won't mention.
Right. Absolutely.
So the Baby Boilers, there you go, Dylan. Good job.
It takes me a minute.
You can tell you have dogs there, Dylan. You're like, huh?
I'm watching the game. It's a whole thing. Listen, ADD's a real son bitch, I'll tell you.
Yeah, but we know what happened to Haas with that year when Haas was just the cheat code. And then we know what happened with the Baby Boilers and what happened up in Minnesota. But,
Yeah, let's not talk about those times, eh? Let's just
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my official answer is I don't know. We got a comment here saying the Three Amigos, second best Purdue team ever. That unfortunately was before my time. I've seen a lot of footage of that era, but that's I was
You're
not around.
old noodle. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
you're youthful.
Completely unnecessary. He did not mean that, Noodle. We appreciate you very much.
The Noodle and I are homies. Listen.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah, I mean this definitely, in my opinion, is if it's not the best Purdue team that I've seen, it's definitely in contention for sure.
What time do we play on Sunday?
We don't know yet.
Not announced.
Yeah,
I may skip my family's Easter if it's around 1:00.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it'd be.
I would guess
1:00.
It's going to be like the first game's going to be around like 2 to 3, and then the second one will be, about 2.5 hours after that.
Sorry, Mom, can't come to Easter. Purdue's playing.
Yeah, if it's around 12 or 1, then I too will be skipping Easter to watch the game.
I can't watch it around people.
My wife just gave me a look. She's sitting right next to me.
I would not mess with Mrs. Frank. Let me tell you.
Let's see. So I'm doing a little research. So
she found that hilarious, Dylan.
Thank you. I wouldn't mess with
Mrs. That's Mrs. Big Brain.
Okay, so
Mrs. Big Brain. Sorry.
Let's see. Last year's Elite Eight games, the first one was at 1:20 Eastern. The second one was at 4:05. So there's a chance we could play around 1 or a little bit after 1.
The Noodle says 2:30. So
2:30.
So 2:30 would be the earliest.
All right, my family's Easter's at 1, so I could probably stay there for an hour and be like, all right,
make an appearance. Hi, how you doing? Got
Raycon, shout out, hashtag not a sponsor. Just get a little Raycon earbud. Pop it in there.
Well, see, I have AirPods because I'm an Apple man. So
I thought you were gonna say hearing aids.
No, you have that. So I didn't know this now, but here, as like an off-topic thing, my uncle has hearing aids, and you can tune them to your phone, and you can answer calls on Sons of Guns now. You should look into that, Russ.
Yeah.
I think those are just called headphones.
I know
if
Dan
I
doesn't.
What you're saying, I'd do that, Dylan.
Dan doesn't need that. He's youthful. You, on the other hand. Thanks again for the Johnson family for stepping in tonight. You're having your Easter right now on this podcast because your whole family's here.
Captain Boiler's going to be doing a little bit of skiing or snowboarding, it looks like. Says he's going to need to get off the slopes early if the game's going to be.
I would tear 7 ACLs if I tried snowboarding or skiing. Good Lord.
I've never done either of those.
To get back to tonight's game, I want to ask a question.
How dare you get us back on track?
Because Frank's the bigger stat guy. He'd probably be the best one to answer this. But is this the
tightest? Hold on, pause. I thought you said something else.
Is this the tighter the tightest our rotation's gotten? Because the minutes tonight, I don't know if you guys have seen this or looked up the minutes. Morton had 5, Colvin had 4, Heidi had 11 minutes.
Morton had 5 minutes?
Yeah, because I guess I can't believe maybe it was a couple at the end too on the second half. But
I just remember him coming in literally to commit 2 fouls.
Yeah, so we're talking about 2 guys off the bench played 5 or less minutes, and then one played 11, one played 27. So basically, we played as much as we talked about our depth being our key. And Gonzaga only played 7 guys. We pretty much only played 7 guys.
Yeah. And so how interesting is it that, we're seeing Colvin play significant minutes, especially compared to what he played in the regular season. And now he's we're not only that, we're playing Colvin more, but we're not playing Ethan Morton as much, a guy who did play 12, 15, sometimes 18 minutes in a game this season. It's an interesting decision. And it just shows how much Colvin's matured, I guess, from a trust standpoint, because, this is a guy who logged, I don't know, maybe 8, 9, 10 did not plays this season.
Yeah, three of the last 4 games in the regular season, he didn't play a minute. And now he's playing, 5 minutes. I know
what it is.
He's played significant minutes in the tournament. I think that, Painter has said that he realizes he needs more athleticism, he needs more shooting, he needs more speed on the court in these types of games, and we're seeing that from him. So this whole, the people who say Painter can't adjust or, Painter's stuck in his ways, so to speak. I mean, I think that just speaks volumes in opposition to that, the fact that he is playing Colvin to the degree that he is. But, I love Ethan Morton. He's been a terrific contributor for Purdue. He's definitely helped win us some games. I hate to see, him not play a ton, but I think he would rather be on the sideline, knowing that he's playing 2 or 3 minutes and knowing that Purdue's winning as well. I think that he's that type of guy.
I think that the reason that Colvin's been playing more is that Coach Painter's just been scrolling through Boiler Diehards on Facebook and getting his coaching philosophy from that. I mean, clearly
that's the key to our success. Is that
he's probably been seeing all the weird middle-aged guys being like, "Oh, Colvin didn't smile today, guys. What's that mean for his future?" Oh no, that's so weird.
So, Frank, did you realize what name was left off that list of minutes though?
First, yeah.
And you even asked before the game started, what's happened to Caleb First? And his first,
I did not.
His
say
first
that.
did
not say that.
Uh-oh. Got drama. We got drama.
His first did not play of the season.
Jerry,
first time all season he hasn't played a single minute.
Mrs. Big Brain's gonna have to sit between you guys, so you quit fighting.
Yeah, no, I mean because they
She'll
were
kick
showing,
your ass, Russ.
They were no. Russ is right. I did say that. I did ask the question because they were showing highlights of First playing. They're showing highlights of First, breaking away for dunks and transition, hitting threes, and it just made me ask the question, like, what happened? He was a guy who was just trending this direction, and we've just seen him, struggle to get on the court, but also struggle to produce when he's gotten on the court.
I don't know, guys, but we're winning games.
But we're winning games. That's the thing, and so it's hard for me to parse out the personal extent or the personal aspect of that I feel for him. I love him as a person, as a player. I want to see him get out there and have success, but I also want Purdue to win. And sometimes you can't have both,
Right.
That's the unfortunate. I mean, Trey Kaufman-Renn, I think, is playing the best basketball of his career. Russ.
Sorry, I'm not scowling at you. I'm scowling at this. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this. This is a fun question. Appreciate this one, Cody. So here's the question for the audio listeners: if Coach KD was coaching this team, could he lead them to a national championship?
That's kind of a loaded question.
Is he coaching as if when he was in his prime coaching? Not to say that he doesn't have the cognitive ability to coach now, but I feel like the stress of coaching a college basketball team now in his day and age would not be sufficient.
Not today. Life. And I'm going to say not in his prime even, but that's just because, Painter talked about it going into this weekend on one of his interviews that he did this week, where he was talking about, one of his biggest motivation is he wants to win the Final Four or get the Final Four. Okay, so his prime, yeah. So, but he in one of his interviews this week, Coach Painter said that one of his bigger motivators is wanting Katie to see us get to a Final Four and even win a national championship, because he's the reason this program is successful now, because Painter learned how to build the program from being in the program with Katie and also being on his staff. But the thing that's changed is the way that offense is played, the way the defense is played. Like, he runs the program the same way, but the game is different now. Yeah. So to take Katie right now, even in his prime, and put him in this day and age, no, I don't think he would win with this team. I mean, he'd still win games, but getting to a Final Four, I don't think would happen, because his philosophies that he used 20 years ago are not the same philosophies that are used today in basketball.
Yeah, I agree, and exactly for that same reason, Russ, is that the game is so different. Not to say that Katie wouldn't have adapted over time, but I just think it would be difficult for him to just ingest modern basketball and coach it, having been out of the game and being used to coaching in a different era. Because it really took me going back and watching the game that was aired on Big Ten Network the other day with Purdue and Kansas in 1993 to see just how different the game was, where you had 4 guys in the paint and 1 shooter on the floor. It was crazy. It's absolutely crazy to go back and watch. I think for that reason, I think that I'm going to say probably not. I feel like we're in good hands. I feel like had Katie continued to coach and was still currently coaching, we would be in good hands as well. But I just think that due to just the stylistic differences of the games, that's going to be
a lot of the sets back then were a guy on each block and a guy on each elbow, and the point guard bringing the ball down the floor. Now it's maybe 1 or 2 guys on a block and the rest on the 3-point line.
Yeah, I mean, Gonzaga went 5 out a lot tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, and having sometimes only 3 shooters on the floor. So that was good. But it was cool to hear the left right chant. We got a dog joining us.
He's not
What's
happy.
your dog name, Dylan? I know you've told me.
Dylan got that dog in him.
Gordy, what do you have to say, bud?
Gordy.
Nothing. He's got.
He's like,
nothing.
get me down from here, please.
He's had enough.
He's had it rough.
You can sort of see
Rough.
my dog's head. in the
He's
camera.
like, you've been yelling all night. I haven't. Let me go to bed.
I also have a dog with me, but I have no camera. So
Nice.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
camera or Damon's camera died halfway through the pregame podcast, so
Yep.
we don't get
But it
to
was
see.
nice
his
to
beautiful
hear.
mug.
It was nice to hear the left right chants as Graham EK fouled out. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
It was nice to hear the Who's House, our house at the end of the game.
That's
It
so
sounded
loud.
like there were a lot of Purdue fans there, especially when Purdue was going on the runs. It seemed to get really loud and intense, at least from what I could tell on TV. Haven't seen any pictures or gotten any accounts from people who were there, but definitely seemed like the Purdue fan base showed up tonight, which is always cool to see. I know there are a lot of upset people about the ticket prices and the quantity of tickets available and that sort of thing, but I was never doubting that Purdue fans would show up tonight.
sorry,
That's what I'm checking. So, okay, we're not up too much. So, tickets for Sunday's game were starting at 113, about halfway through the second half. Now they're up to 123, so they've gone up a little bit. So, you might want to get on it if you're buying a ticket.
I don't even
I'm
want to
sure
imagine
this
what my
straight up.
drive to Detroit would be like. It just sounds terrible.
Imagine your drive to Detroit would be similar to mine. Be about 5.
I would guess you need to buy it before the Tennessee Creighton game's over because Creighton fans would probably love to see them play in the Elite Eight, so they'll probably be buying tickets, and Tennessee fans can make that drive. I mean, it's not a short drive from Tennessee to Detroit, but it's a drivable. It's 12 hours.
And there are a
So,
lot of Tennessee
and
fans.
Tennessee
out
loves to
there.
travel, yeah. So
Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
Tennessee fans behind
Oof.
Gonzaga's
7-hour drive for me.
yeah.
No thanks.
7 hours.
So I would guess as soon as their game goes final, a lot of their fans are going to start buying up tickets too. So if you want to go, I'd buy a ticket now. Yeah, $95 before the game tonight. Nadal says, okay. Yeah, they've just gone
Not
up.
bad. It's not hateful. What were they when you were in school, Russ? Like a quarter? $1?
Yeah, with tax. Yeah,
Tax. They always get you with they didn't have fees back then either.
thanks, sales tax.
Yeah, that was when the convenience charges were a penny. For days.
Now, yeah, the tickets are $95, but with fees, it's $192. Like,
Russ
Man,
bought his first house for $10,000 and a bag of blueberries.
I was
joke.
talking.
No joke. When I went to the game against Utah State, the convenience charge per ticket was in the neighborhood of $150. It's absolutely crazy.
That's so
Jeez.
stupid.
Absolutely crazy.
That is.
Now, what I would do is you just volunteer to work at concessions and then you disappear before the end of the
There you
first
go.
media timeout.
There
And
you
you
go.
watch the game.
Wear
Yeah.
a disguise and then take it all off.
Russ just be like, "Hello, I'm volunteering from my local club."
Did any of you all see this?
I was just always old. Even 20 years ago, I sounded old. even in college, I sounded old.
You
Well,
were
they
in
sound
college
really-
20 years ago.
I'm going to get off topic for a second. But did any of you all see during the Grambling State game, they showed the concession stand where they were making popcorn, and they were making what looked to be like a caramel corn. They were spraying the popcorn with like a spray bottle. It looked like something you would use to like clean your stove. But they just
good.
had this device that was spinning the popcorn and just some guy spraying it with like what looked like Pledge. You
On
know?
Lysol.
Reassuring.
Yeah, it's just like that's not something I ever want to eat.
That
ever.
doesn't look
It's
appealing.
just- that was a bad idea. Sorry, not to get too off topic here.
I think a Creighton kid just got hit in the
Yeah,
throat.
Dylan and I
just
don't
saw
ever do that.
Just
So.
took a shot to
Yeah.
the chops.
So current status: Tennessee up 14 or 18-14 on Creighton. Still a lot of game left. 8 minutes.
Oh,
to go in
man,
the
yeah.
first half. Yeah,
He just lowered his shoulder.
yeah.
He don't play running back for the Cowboys this year, Damon.
Yeah,
Cowboys ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, we know this.
they will in the regular season.
Who dey?
Yeah, comment here from Cody. Meant to tell you guys this. My aunt and uncle had a couple classes with Conzo Martin and Glenn Robinson when they were at Purdue. That's pretty awesome.
Nice.
That is cool.
When I was a student, I did take an elevator with AJ Hammond. So that was pretty sweet.
He could fit in the elevator.
Yeah, I just I thought about whether or not I should say something to him, and I didn't. I was just like staring at him, and I was
You
like,
gotta play it cool. Gotta play it cool.
Yeah.
Last year when I went to a Purdue basketball game, I went to Insomnia Cookie afterwards, and or no, this was before. It was the day of. We went there before the game, and Trey Kaufman-Wren was behind me, and I was like, "Wow, you're really tall. And it didn't like click with me that was TKR until we left. And my cousin was like, hey, that was TKR. So
Yeah, we forget. I mean, he looks short next to Edie because Edie's got 6 inches on him, but he's still 6'10". I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna be a
is,
force next year.
I really
I'm telling you, he's
appreciate
gonna be our leading scorer. I called it first.
you said
Called
it
it first here.
I appreciate this comment from the Noodle here. My daughter is a freshman at Tennessee. She's home for Easter. I'm trying to be nice.
Kick her out. Give
Like
her the
that.
boot.
I like that. Stick to your guns, Noodle. I feel like a lot of parents would just adopt that school, and just
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate that. Stick to your roots,
My dad would have never. Well, I didn't go to college, so it didn't really matter. But shout out community college. That's where your boy went.
And Cody's aunt sold lottery tickets to Coach Katie. That's pretty cool.
We're just calling out all the connections here.
My grandmother sold underwear to Colonel Sanders. That's a true story.
is that how you met your wife?
Kentucky, it hurts. What? Oh, I love the thought of your like grandmother back. I want showed underwear
goodness.
to Colonel
My,
Sanders.
my grandma wasn't old at the time. She was like very young.
Well, I
She-
know
Oh.
you're telling the story later.
So is that
on.
like code for doing something else then? With Colonel
No.
Sanders?
She was just working at a
Is
department
Colonel
store.
Sanders
And
your grandpa?
Colonel Sanders came
underwear.
in to buy underwear. And she
Colonel
helped
Sanders could be your actual grandfather. Imagine that.
I never thought about that.
Whoa.
before.
Maybe that's how Frank met his now wife.
Colonel Big Brain.
Yeah.
Do you know the recipe? What the hell is it? Give it to us.
Yeah, I do. I do know the recipe. All 11 herbs and spices of it.
Oh wow.
I knew you did. Damn it. Text
This
them to
is-
us.
This is getting crazy, gentlemen. We're in the Elite Eight. Just enjoy that, man. Like I know I've said it like 5 times tonight, but like we have to soak that in and not get wrapped up in like setting new expectations. And I know that's what the tournament's all about, but we just have to enjoy the fact that like we're in the Elite Eight. We got to where we felt we should go. We got there pretty easily for the most part, and we're gonna play a really tough opponent next. So.
You know what I
Enjoy
was
that.
just thinking about, and Dan's comment made me think about it because he made a comment about how big Juwan Johnson is. Just thinking about where Painter has taken this team from, I'm specifically thinking about when the baby boilers arrived. And I remember Purdue, I think it was their freshman year, beat Wisconsin at Wisconsin. And the fan base was so excited that, there were people like all over the place at the airport, like welcoming the team back at like 3:00 in the morning, cheering them on and everything. And not that there's anything wrong with that. It was great in the moment, but just thinking about how big a regular season win at Wisconsin was to us all those years ago to now, the expectation is like, we're going to a Final Four. We're going to an Elite Eight. Like the transformation that Matt Painter has done. And sure, there were a couple of really tough years. I mean, no coach isn't going to have a down year, at some point in their career, but the ability that he's had to take Purdue from like celebrating by like everybody bum rushing the airport, a regular season win on the road, to now those are expectations, and the expectations are now like the things that are being celebrated are the postseason wins, making it to the Elite Eight, hopefully getting to a Final Four. That's incredible. So also just basking in that, and it kind of goes back to what Frank said. Enjoy it now, and don't forget where we've been too. So.
And I remember going to a game at Mackey. This probably would have been 2015 or 2016 is when I had season tickets. And it was the final game of the season. And what was on the line, what Purdue stood to gain from winning this game was to get the number 4 overall seed in the Big Ten tournament, right? Which meant a double bye. And I remember at the end, people in the stadium were chanting number 4, number 4, number 4. And like that was what fans were getting hyped and excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, too, to go back to what you were just saying, Damon, like that, when Painter took over, it had gone down a little bit right at the end of Katie's tenure. And the baby boilers, when they started their freshman year, we had gone 3 straight years with not making the tournament. And we'd only made one of like the last 5 tournaments. So it was a big deal to finally start, feeling like, hey, the program's in good hands now. Like we've got this star recruiting class in. And we did have that down year in between there after the baby boilers, before Painter kind of really learned kind of what it meant to stack recruiting classes, which he talks about now. Like you can't just recruit one big class. Like that was a hard lesson to learn with the baby boilers. Like you've got to stack classes. Like he's got these 6 coming in next year. But yeah, it's weird now to be in the Elite Eight and think this is the norm when it's really only his second Elite Eight since he's been here for 17 years.
Yeah.
However, if you just think about probability and the St. Peter's game, I mean, like if that Purdue team played that St. Peter's team 100 times, the St. Peter's team would win 2 of them.
Look at NC State. NC State's in Elite Eight and they're 11 seed. That's how much randomness and luck there is in the NCAA tournament. Like,
yeah, freshman year at Purdue, went to NIT final, was a big deal. Lost to Bradley.
The NIT used to be a big deal. I remember that.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and another comment I want to bring up here: Jamal Shed was just helped off the floor into the locker room. I did a quick Google search about that. Hopefully he's okay. They've had a tough bout of injuries to end the season, so hopefully he'll be all right. But that's scary news. Another comment here: thank goodness Arizona and UNC are gone. No kidding. Clemson is scary, and I have the receipts. I sent it into our podcast group chat that I said like back in December that Clemson is a sleeper team. So I just wanted to be known that I've been saying that. Been saying that for a while.
Do you guys also remember how Clemson thought they should be ranked higher than Purdue at one point in the season? I can't remember who the really good player was on their team. He was like talking smack about how Purdue only had this many wins and then they had that many wins, and so they should be ranked higher or something. And then
I do. I forgot about that. And he said it on some media platform.
Yeah,
right?
he was like being interviewed. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, I mean, I'm going to go with the team that has the most wins or something like that. But like they had played like nobody up to that point.
Right.
Yeah, that was I totally forgot about that, Damon. That actually happened. That was a real thing.
Yep. Well, boys, we're not at the hour mark at all. Not that there is like a time limit to these post game things or anything. But do you guys have any other thoughts, any comments, questions, concerns? What are your guys' thoughts going into Sunday?
It's a lot of fun, man. Having a lot of fun, enjoying it.
A lot of fun. Enjoy how far we've come. That's what I got to say.
Yeah.
Tar Heels for life.
Happy Easter to everybody out there.
I also liked how after the game they show the guys going through the tunnel in the locker room, and they look like they just beat Northwestern in the 4th game of the year. Like it seemed, I like how business they are.
I think it was because they knew the camera was on them. Like, just to be fair, I feel like the camera wasn't there. They're probably celebrating, but yes, they looked very stoic.
Yeah.
It looked like another day at the office.
Yeah.
But before we sign off, be sure to shout out our sponsors because I know we didn't do that. At least I don't believe.
All right, way to call me out there. Anyway,
I forgot. I just remembered.
No, I'm just messing with you. But yeah, guys, so go ahead and celebrate our Elite Eight, our entrance into the Elite Eight by going to martinvintage.com and using code BXP at checkout to get yourself a new Purdue shirt in order for the game on Sunday, and then for the Final Four next week as well. And then while you're doing that, go ahead and head over to College Basketball Analytics after this next game tonight, or this game that's currently happening, to check out Purdue's opponent. Get the down low on them and you can compare them to Purdue as well. And then after you do that, you're going to want to tailgate, for the game on Sunday. So you're going to want to go to Cincy Blitzboards and get you the best Blitzboard out there with the best Purdue design possible.
Oh, Damon, you there? At least he finished the ad read.
Yeah, he finished it.
That was awesome.
At least he got it done, That's what matters.
The battery lasted just long enough.
First it was his camera, now it's his mic.
You've been muted this whole time.
No, you
just randomly went silent. Yeah. It was like right. It was just like it was a very abrupt end to the Cincy Blitzboard.
They can say with any design.
Yeah, they can say with any design. Period.
Over. That's all you need to know.
Nothing else to say. But yeah, it's a Cincy Blitzboards. They're perfect for all occasions. Family barbecues, tailgates,
bar mitzvahs, baptisms,
Easter
Sundays,
Easter Sunday.
Take it to church.
Hide a Blitzboard or two in the bushes instead of Easter eggs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That'd be difficult. They're pretty large.
Yeah. Dylan typically has a Blitzboard behind him, but he's recently changed his setup. So
I may keep this setup. I kind of really like doing the podcast in my living room in the comfort of this chair. It's kind of comfy. It's nice.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty nice. Yeah. We got a comment. Have a great weekend, guys. Happy Easter weekend on to Sunday Hill, Purdue. Absolutely. And I think there's no better way to wrap things up than with that comment.
It's all right. If you guys don't go to church, go now so that you can pray for Purdue to win. So
everyone thank Damon.
That's the meaning of Easter. That's the true meaning of Easter.
That's right.
It's a Boilermaker Easter, y'all.
All right, let's go Boilers. Get the win on Sunday over either Creighton or
Love
Tennessee.
you all.
Yeah. Boiler up and let's get the win.